Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Zaat. Now, last week we talked about Venom, which was really bad, and now we have another really bad movie to talk about, two in a row. It's a little bit tricky, but I think we have a good one coming up soon. Anyway, Zaat is basically a late 50s science fiction monster movie, except done in 1971 and done much more poorly. It's about a scientist who is angry at the world, decides to change himself into a fish monster, which actually looks awesome on the poster. And to be fair, the monster does look like that in the movie, so they didn't embellish on the poster, which I appreciate. Anyway, he turns himself into a fish monster and then kills people. That's the entire plot. He gets revenge on the people that doubted his experiments. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like a good monster movie, okay, but this is not a good monster movie. I give this one a 2 out of 10. It was really bad. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The acting is so bad that they, pause halfway through their lines. For example, they'll say, "Did you get the letter from the doctor the other day?" That's the level of the acting. It's so bad. The action is also horrible. There's one part where the monster tries to punch a woman and clearly doesn't touch her and also doesn't move his arm very fast. It's a slow punch that doesn't connect. And then she dies and looks right into the camera for a few seconds. Oh, it's so bad. So why does it get a 2 out of 10 instead of a 1 out of 10? Well, the monster actually looks cool, and I respect the fact that they show the monster for the entire movie. Because in all these 50s movies that it's imitating, the monsters looked pretty bad. And because they looked bad, they wouldn't show them until the end, and then you'd see the monster for a minute or two, and you're just okay, well, I came to see this movie to watch the monster, and the monster's in it for 1 minute. So at least in this movie, they attempted to put the monster in the whole movie. Okay, so I appreciate that. Also, there's this part where he in order to turn himself into a monster, he straps himself into this hoist thing and fills this water with I don't know what chemicals or fish blood or a combination thereof, and has to hoist himself into it, and you can tell that the actor actually had to figure out how to work this contraption. So that was cool. And the story is actually fine. It makes sense. It's not incoherent. So, there's some movies out there that are boring. This one's actually not boring. It's just really bad. But it's not boring. I mean, you have a monster running around killing people the whole time, so it's not boring. Although it is way too long. Also, they do this funny thing. I don't know why they did this, but whenever he kills people, they cut in footage of just fish or an octopus or a puffer fish just for half a second. And they'll cut in and cut out, and it'll cut in and cut out. So he's killing people they're cutting in National Geographic footage or Planet Earth or Blue Planet footage just randomly when people are dying. So that's weird. I don't know why they did that. The movie was filmed in Florida. The writer, director, producer, Don Barton, never did any other movies as far as I know. He only ever made this. And he made it all on his own for $50,000. And he spent $25,000 on the poster and advertising. That's why the poster looks so great. I spent a third of the budget on the poster and advertising. Never did anything else. Now, let's see, it got released. Oh, I forget. They released it in Florida. He was from Jacksonville. The movie's set in, I think, a fictional town, something Grove, Florida. Swamp Grove or something like that. I forget. I think everyone in the movie's from Florida. I do like a regional film where everyone's from that area. And I like anytime something's not based in California, especially Los Angeles, I like that. Don't need every single movie to be shot in Hollywood all the time. So that was good. Um, but yeah, the movie's not good. He never went on to make anything else. Uh, at first I saw that it was released by Aquarius Releasing, which is the same company that released Halloween, the original Halloween, in 1978. But then I looked into it more, and apparently that company only showed it in New York City for one day, and it made $200. So I think it was shown in Florida and New York City, and then after that, I don't think it was shown in many theaters, and then, it was picked up and put on VHS. And then later in its life, in like 1999, it was put on Mystery Science Theater 3000. So I think that's probably where most people saw it, I assume. I don't know. Now it's just on YouTube. Also, I watched it on YouTube, and someone had recorded it off of TCM, Turner Classic Movies. How is this a classic movie? It's the farthest thing from a classic anything could ever be. I was shocked to see that it was on Turner Classic Movies, TCM. Then I looked on TCM. You know what else is on there? All these Andy Milligan movies, which are the other worst movies I've ever seen in my life out of like 2,000 movies. One of the really bad ones from 1970, at least one of them, maybe the whole Andy Milligan collection, because they're in alphabetical order. Like, TCM does not sort their movies in any reasonable way. But, yeah, I saw there were Andy Milligan movies on Turner Classic Movies, and they apparently ran Zaat at one time, so they get no respect or credibility from me because there's obviously a lot better movies than these. So, anyway, that's it. I'm pretty sure I was looking at my little schedule, and I think the next one is another random one-off, really obscure movie, just like this one, just like Venom. But then after that, we get to go into a very highly revered giallo territory. So that'll be good. All right, there's that. See you next week.